Shalom Akim. I'm going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who teach and roll well, and salutations to all the Akim in all four corners of earth who's pushing this truth and sincerity. Shalom Akim. I want to get into this article right here. We're into that weird month right now. We're going to be seeing a lot more weird stuff, nothing new. It's just, we're going to point out and call it out, they're getting comfortable here because Babylon allows them different rights, gives them privileges and different things of that nature. They're able to go read to your kids, they could put your kids on their lap and read to them little books and stuff and be dressed in drag and stuff. What is the point of that? I know it's the point, it's an indoctrination point, but, why would the people allow that? But once again, I answer my own question because it's all about the indoctrination. They're trying to indoctrinate people, the kids and the people into this is calm. Men and women is what the Lord put here, but now that Esau's in control, and he's playing a narrative, he put a whole bunch of other sexualities out there. So now we have a whole list of sexualities you can choose from, man, which is confusion, man. And the Lord is not the author of confusion, man. So here we have this Pentagon to rename gay U.S. warship. Under the under Obama and Biden administration. Well, we could go back. I'm gonna go back to Clinton. Clinton told around Clinton's era when I was a kid, they said the don't ask, don't tell era, and the don't ask, don't tell. So we was like, okay, what is really going on? So you got these guys, these military guys, they weren't allowing those weirdos to come into the military because they were too flamboyant with it. They wasn't trying to keep their mouth closed. So Clinton's heir came out and noticed them and established. He said, you can go to war, but just I'm not gonna ask your sexuality and don't tell me what your sexuality is. So that opened that door right then and there, the Clinton era. Fast forward to the Obama era, and everything's in full-fledged. Everything's fully out there now. We got, it went from a thought to a day to a weekend to now we have a full month, and like I always say, they want to push for a full year of LGBTQ plus, QPPP, whatever else is on added to it, But, now their agenda is getting onto their warships and stuff, man. They're naming their warships after their fallen comrades in that war of homosexuality. This dude, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, has reportedly ordered the USNS Harvey Milk to be renamed. And this Harvey Milk dude, it said the U.S. has been directed to rename the USS Harvey Milk to replenish oiler named after the slain gay rights activist and Navy veteran as part of a border incentive. So this dude was a gay rights activist that was in the Navy. I think they also said he was a trans, and he was killed. He was killed by people who was on his own staff, man. So check that one out. His own homo lovers, did him in, man. Got rid of him. Lord put a spirit on these people, man. I'm telling you, man. But at the end of the day, this is who they got to protect this is who they got to protect us, man. But yeah, this is just pure follies and pure wickedness, man. And this is all it says, man. This is what America is basically come to. Yeah, this is what it's come to, though. Slocky. Slocky. This DEI incentive stuff that Trump is supposedly coming in and trying to set things back in good order or whatever, but the agenda is out there, and Trump is just a puppet, man. At the end of the day, this is Ecclesiastes 10:6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low places. So this is folly right here, man. Harvey Milk, the homo captain, and they named the ship after him. So right now they're protesting because now they're going to try to name it after some black activists and stuff like that nature. So this place is just, a laughing stock to the world, man. You know, uh, we have homos and weirdos and men who are confused with sexuality. They're the ones who run the military and are over the military. They're bosses at our jobs and everything, man. And this is all by design, man. As well as the Lord showing us that this place is just going down, man. Because the scriptures speak about, how, well, when you look back in time, when you go back to the Romans times of that day, what was part of their downfall? Sexuality was all over the place, running rampant. Women were all into politics. Weirdos were running politics. Weirdos were being emperors and stuff to that nature. So it was just falling apart. It went from a conquering nation to now we're just free, loose and free. Same thing that's happening in America, man. Rebirth. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn, man. And so people, there are actual people who are mad and upset about these different trans reading to their kids things they go to, because nowadays you have schools that try to sneak them in there. You used to sometimes you'll find a coffee shop that'll have a reading for that, and now every now and then you'll find out that the school had them in there, and parents get upset about that stuff, man. They're not happy about that, man. Having a man dressed as a woman reading to their kids their favorite storybooks, But this place, and then on the flip side, like I say, you have them coffee shops, and I've seen and did videos on them where the parents, they in their happy joy and their kids just running around, frolicking around, but just people are sick, man. Proverbs 29:12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked, man. And so these so-called leaders of Babylon push for this weird agenda, man. They allow this stuff to happen. Like, even though Trump is closing are shutting down a lot of these DEI initiatives and thoughts, that he still has, it's a lot that he has to clean up, basically. And not only that, he's not going to be able to clean all this stuff up because his cabinet and the people before him they put the stuff into play. So Trump's only job is to just continuously sell this boat the course it's supposed to go. Don't try to change the course of nothing, or else he'll get knocked off. So Trump has to play a role, basically, and he's a puppet. But at the end of the day, the Lord hates everything about the agenda they push. He hates the. Let me bring that out. This is Proverbs 8:13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogance, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate, man. So the Lord hates all that prideful stuff, man. And when you look at these people that just jumping around, frolicking around, they're gonna have parades going on very soon, where they're gonna be half naked out there as men in these thong bikinis and stuff like that. That just looks weird, man. But to them, it's cool. And I just seen my boy Alex Stein. He was over in Target, and he was showing out their bikini section and stuff. So these stores are even generating money off of this, as well as pushing that agenda on the people, man. You right about now, and even a few weeks ago, you could have went into these different Targets and they were already setting up, because I've done a video in them a few years past and seeing how they go all out, like this is Halloween or Christmas. They changed the whole sections of the stores for this stuff, man. So they're adapting the people's minds to this weird agenda, man. And the Lord hates this stuff, man. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, man. These people do not fear the Lord, man. They want to challenge the Lord. This is why Esau comes up with these different sexualities and stuff, because he wants to challenge the Lord. Things the Lord has established rule and order upon the earth, and Esau wants to be above that. He wants to be the one who sets the rules. He wants to be the one who sets the new standards. He's trying to come up with different sexualities. This is Romans 1:26. For this cause Yahweh gave them up unto the vile affections. For even their women did change their natural use into that which is against nature, man. So yeah, the Lord is giving these people up to these vile affections. So this is why a lot of these different diseases run rampant here in Babylon. This is why, there's no cure for a lot of these things. because they're defiled. They're vile people. So the Lord is just jacking them up. He's gonna give you over to your wicked desires, man. You know, and what's gonna come of those things, man? Different sicknesses and different diseases, man. You know, so this is why they can't inherit the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, these people are non-repentant. You know, they wanna continue in their folly and BS, man. Even though when I was younger, I went to school. This dude was like a Magic Johnson's son. This dude was like 6'5", man. You know what I'm saying? Could have been a beast in football or basketball, but he chose to be a brokeback, man, to the fullest. And then, as you know, when we were in high school and we're coming to the end of high school, I'm noticing him. He's off these different types of drugs and stuff. So these dudes really be trying to kill themselves, man. They don't like that lifestyle they're living, you know. But the Lord gave him over to that vine of that evil spirit that's upon them, man. You know, and it's up to, you know, if they repent, man, the Lord might choose them, man. You know, it's all about repentance, man. You know, repenting to your wickedness, man. And these people love their wickedness because Babylon gives them a pass and gives them the right to do whatever their wicked heart desires, man. You know. So yeah, this dude, Harvey Milk, they're gonna change the name of his ship. They're trying to bring up a bunch of Sojourner Truths and a bunch of civil rights leaders. They're gonna probably try to name the ship after, you know, which is gonna upset Esau even more. But hey, it is what it is, man. You know. But yeah, I just seen this little article and I had to jump on it, man. With that being said, it was edifying. Shalom, Maki.